Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first Alfred State Athletics podcast known as Around the Pen. My name is Jarrod Deaton, and I am sat next to
Satchel Page.
We are both students here on campus, and we thought that running a athletics podcast would be fun, so here we are. So what this podcast is really going to be all about is stuff inside the pen, also known as athletics that go around on campus, stuff happening outside the pen, which is real world sports, and then we will keep you up to date with athletes of the week, as well as upcoming events and or athletic sporting events that are going on campus. So the first thing that we'll start talking about is the basketball games that happened last week. The men's and women's team traveled to Hilbert last Wednesday. The men's team is 5-14. They are 3-11 in AMCC play. The men's team came up on a rally short. They lost 80-73. They trailed by as many as 24 points. They made a great comeback in the final 8 minutes, but again, they fell up short.
Also looking at the women's, were 6-13. They were in Hilbert on Wednesday, and 4-10 in AMCC conference play. They lost to Hilbert 77-50. We had 3 Pioneers scored double digits this week, and they were also in a good game until the second half.
So Ryan Gentili in the game against Hilbert on Wednesday, he led the Pioneers with 23 points. Brandon Gossley had 7 rebounds. Josh Redding had 6 assists. On the women's side, the 3 piles that were in double digits were Emily Kelly, who had 11, Jordan Pettit, who had 10, and Kelsey Shawless, who also had 10, and Pettit ended up with a double-double with 10 points and 10 rebounds. Over the weekend, both the men's and women's team traveled to Mount Aloysius. The men, again, came up on a rally short. They ended up losing 75-71. They jumped out to an early lead in the first half. By the time the second half came around, Mount Aloysius had built a 62-45 lead. The Pios started their comeback, and they cut the lead down to 74-71, but again, they fell short. Ryan Gentile again was the leading scorer for the Pios, had 26 points, was 5 from 8 from three-point land. Brandon Gossi again leading the team in rebounds with 9 points. Josh Redding, 3 assists.
While we look at the women's side also on Saturday following the men's game, the women came out edging a win 84-70. The game was back and forth throughout the entire contest. The women decided to pull away in the second half. You saw 4 Pioneers in double figures this week. You had Jordan Pettit, who doubled with a 26 points and 13 rebounds. Ray Anderson followed with 16 points. Emily Kelly nailing 14 points. And Mayana Davis nailing 11 points in her freshman campaign.
Also over the weekend, the men's and women's track team traveled to RIT. On the women's side, Emma Taggart continued her solid freshman campaign by winning the high jump with a leap of 1.56 meters. And that leap will qualify her for the All-Atlantic Region Track and Field Championships.
While on the men's side, Jacob Wadsworth continued to etch his name in program record books with 2 second-place finishes. He was second in the 60-meter hurdles, finishing with 9.12, and was also second in the high jump with a leap of 1.85 meters. We also will jump to swimming here to see our men's swimming. Matt Walker won 3 individual events on this day. To lead his way, he won the 201 meter in 2:01:33, and the 200 breaststroke in 2:15:54, and the 100 breaststroke in 1:01.51.
Also winning over the weekend on the men's side, Nate Miller won the 100 fly. Ethan Dale won the 200 fly. Anthony Kawadi won the 1,000 free. And Weston Perry bested his own school record in the 200 free by winning with a time of 1 minute 46:53. Also, Perry, Dale, Miller, and Walker all combined to win the 200 medley relay in a time of 1:39:29 in the beginning of the meet.
On the women's side as well, we saw Alana Kisluck, Michaela Snychuk, and Kelsey Lynch won individual events. Kisluck won the 1,000 in 11 minutes, 57 seconds, and .69, and was also second in the 500 free. Snychuk won the 200 free in 2 minutes and 6 seconds, and was second in both the 100 breast and the 100 free. While Lynch won the 200 fly in 2 minutes and 40 seconds, Elizabeth Furmansky also recorded her second place finish in the 50 free. In the 200 free relay, you saw Hannah Snychuk, Veronica Bowler, Furmansky, and Kisluck finish in second, followed up by Peyton Armstrong, Michaela Snychuk, Lynch, and Sarah Stevens finished second in the medley relay team.
Also over the weekend, the wrestling team traveled. Anthony Maraglia registered the only win that the team saw in a 17-4 victory at 149 pounds.
Our athletes of the week this week are known as Jordan Pettit and Jacob Wadsworth, standing out and being excellent pioneers for us in their respective athletic events.
So now that we've covered everything that's happened inside of the athletics, we'll go outside the pen just for 1 minute each. We will each have a topic to talk about. Seeing that it is the Monday after the Super Bowl, I'm going to talk about the Super Bowl in general. I think that the first thing that people noticed right away is that the game was way better than last year's Super Bowl. I think that it was a lot more entertaining. I think the halftime show was better. I think it was better coached. Again, I thought it was a great first half. I think that Kansas City definitely had, interesting offensive play calling. I think that it was kind of conservative. I do think that both teams tried to have a little fun with some of their play calling, where you saw, the Chiefs line up at the goal line and run what people are calling the Backstreet Boys move, where they all spun out of the way, and then it was the direct snap. The 49ers really relied on their run game and defense, but I think that Jimmy Garoppolo honestly had a decent game. I think that both quarterbacks definitely could have played better. Congrats to Pat Mahomes on winning MVP, but I do think that Damian Williams was snubbed of MVP. I think that he was somewhere up over 100 rushing yards, had 49 receiving yards and the 2 touchdowns. I think that he easily could have won MVP over Mahomes.
While on my side, I'm going outside the pen. I'm going to the NBA. Looking at the All-Star game, the new changes and everything that's been going around. Looking at to see the new rules adopted from the basketball tournament, where the first team to hit 24 points will win in the fourth quarter. Each quarter will be played to a time limit draw. First team to hit 30 points in each quarter to move on to the next quarter, and you will see that each team winning or losing would donate money to charity. Each team will also be honoring Kobe and Gianna Bryant by wearing their jerseys. One team will be wearing 2, the other team will be wearing 24. And looking at the games that the All-Star snubs that the NBA is all over right now, is Ja Morant, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker are highlighting the All-Star snub team, with guys respectively leading their teams to go on to be great right now at the highest level. And looking around the sport, the NBA is just flourishing at this moment, even through the sadness of this past week of losing Kobe Bryant. And that was our Outside the Pen segment. And going up to this upcoming events, Jarrod Deaton will let you know what is going on around the Pioneer Athletic Department.
So on Wednesday, our men's and women's basketball teams will be home against Behrend. Both teams lost earlier in the season, so they'll be looking to bounce back. On Friday and Saturday, men's and women's track and field will be at Brockport. Also on Saturday, Western Equestrian will be across the street at Alfred University. Wrestling will be traveling to the Baldwin and Wallace Invitational. And our men's and women's basketball teams will be home again against Franciscan. Both teams losing to Franciscan earlier in the season, again looking to bounce back. So this has been our first podcast. Hopefully everybody enjoys. If you'd like to keep track of everything that happens inside the athletic department, you can follow our website, www.alfredstateathletics.com. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all at the same handle, ASC Athletics.